It's good to see you today. We're going to be looking at the account of Lydia. If you remember where Lydia is in the book of Acts, that there she was with the women who came to the river to customarily pray. Our hymn today is called Jesus, Where'er Thy People Meet.
Jesus,
And pardon me, I couldn't find the music for that version. I know this music does not match. This sheet music does not match, so pardon me for that. Nonetheless, verse 2. For thou within no walls confined dost dwell with those of humble mind, such ever bring thee where they come, and going take thee to their home. Great shepherd of thy chosen few, thy former mercies hear anew. Here too our waiting hearts proclaim the sweetness of thy saving name. Here may we prove the power of prayer to strengthen faith and sweeten care, to teach our faint desires to rise, and bring all heaven before our eyes. Jesus, where thy people meet. Let's look in Acts 16, verse 11. Therefore, sailing from Troas, we ran a straight course to Samothrace, and the next day came to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is the foremost city of that part of Macedonia colony. And we were staying in that city for some days. And on the Sabbath day we went out of the city to the riverside, where prayer was customarily made. And we sat down and spoke to the women who met there. Now a certain woman named Lydia heard us. She was a seller of purple from the city of Thyatira, who worshipped God. The Lord opened her heart to heed the things spoken by Paul. And when she and her household were baptized, she begged us, saying, If you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and stay. And so she persuaded us. Okay, so here she is. She was a seller of purple from the city of Thyatira. She is a God worshiper. One of the points that people usually make is that there's a pretty good chance that, and pardon me, I have a squeaky chair. There's a pretty good chance that Lydia had already suffered a good bit. Thyatira is, I believe, one of those churches in Asia Minor spoken about in Revelation. And when you study that city, one of the things that was happening in those cities was if you did not bow down to the pagan gods, sometimes those cities would have a main pagan god, or various businesses, various trades would have trade gods. And if you didn't bow down to that god, you were not allowed to do business. You were out of the union, is basically what it was like. And so that may be why she from Thyatira came to Philippi, because she was not welcome in Thyatira. She was not able to sell her garments in Thyatira because she worshiped God. So it may be that she already suffered a good bit. That's one aspect of her. Another aspect of her, most people again, they think she may have looked very strange. Sellers of purple, just because of their job, because of their business, because of their trade, they would be blue all over. The usual way it's described ever since the 1980s, because of that cartoon back then, she may have looked a little bit like a Smurf. Just because that dye would get everywhere, just working it into the garments. Those certain, I think there were mussels or that they would extract the dye from, and then they would, gather the dye bit by bit by bit, and then work it into the garments, and it would just get all over. And so she may have looked very strange. and may have been treated differently because of that. I don't know. But nonetheless, here she is at the river, and Paul preaches the gospel. And when she hears the gospel, for one thing, she sees to it that her household hears the gospel as well. And then she says, if you have judged me to be faithful, and that's what ultimately matters. She was a God worshiper, and now she is a Jesus knower, if you will. And she worships the Lord. She's faithful to the Lord. If you have judged me to be faithful. And that's the thing. It's like those folks back in Thyatira, they may have chucked me out. That's fine. Folks around here may think that I look a little strange. That's okay too. Am I faithful to the Lord? That's what matters. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.